Hi everyone, we're the Artist League International and this is our workshop. We hope you can enjoy the time we'll spend with you, and we hope that you'll enjoy all the other panels in these few days. We just wanted to remind you that there will be links to donate to AFSP, so if you enjoy these videos you're watching, please consider donating. Thank you. So, we wanted to start with a presentation. We're four artists, four international artists, European-based. So I'll start. And my name is Massimiliano. I'm from Italy. My @ on Twitter is @supersbazzi, and I like to draw stuff, especially DCU, Snyderverse-based or related stuff, and I'm a big Snyder fan. I studied movie making, and I'm studying to become a teacher. So I think that the Snyderverse, the whole concept of the hero's journey that Zack pushed all these years, is something that helped me grow as an artist and as a person. But yeah, I'll let Szilvia present herself. So.
Hello, I'm Szilvia. I'm from Hungary, a freelance artist currently working on a tabletop game. I like to draw cartoony stuff, DC mostly, and other shows like Blingy, if you follow me on social media, you know about that. And I love Zack movies for many, many years now, and he is embracing the kind of fantasy, selling the kind of fantasy I love since my childhood. Russ or Ryem, I don't know who's next.
Hello, my name's Ryem, and I'm from the UK. Like everyone else, I draw a lot, and mostly DC related. I'm trying to venture out, but it's DC. You can't help yourself. You keep going back to those characters, and well, like been a fan of Zack since 300, and I just love how unapologetic he is whenever he's embracing something, like whenever he's doing a new movie. And yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. Actually, like someone else can. I'll just Raz take it.
Well, I'm Razanul. I am an artist. Let's put it that way. Even though these guys are clearly way better than anything that I can ever do, but I'm humbled.
He's lying. He's amazing.
Well, I'm very humbled that I'm invited here. Just like all the rest, I am an artist. I draw in my spare time. My main job is as an electrical engineer here at the National Railway Company of Belgium. And yeah, I think we're all here because we love Zack's movies, and they inspire us continuously to continue drawing, to improve, to adapt, to share our art with this wonderful community. And again, I'm very thankful that we were able to host a panel at JusticeCon with these wonderful people, and I want to thank Max for putting all this together. He's a true king, absolutely. But like, I wanted to ask you guys this very simple question, really. But I'm very curious. Like, I wanted to talk to you about your art processes. Like, how do you start? Where do you get the idea? If you could talk a little bit about like your art and how you approach a drawing, that would be wonderful. Max, do you wanna maybe start?
Well, first of all, thank you for the kind words. But if I'm a king, you're all titans because you're amazing. You're wonderful people and even greater artists. So I'm really proud that you accepted my invitation. So yeah, thank you so much. My artistic process is, I am really inspired by the movies I watch, the books I read, the comics I read. I also love to take inspiration from stuff I'm living in my real life, and I think that especially in the last year with the Zack Snyder's Justice League, I think it all mixed with the release of a movie and the movement that went behind it. So I usually draw my drawings on digital only. I use my iPad. I have this iPad with It's an iPad Pro, I think, and my Apple Pencil, and I use Procreate. And on Procreate, I do many drawings. I have some ideas that I wanted to complete at the time of the recording. So maybe you will already have seen the final product, but stuff like this when I don't know if you can see it, with Bruce Wayne and Green Lantern, meeting in the original scene, the ending scene of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Spoilers, but the movie came out, a month ago. So what you're doing here, watch the movie. So yeah,
Watch the movie and then come back here
exactly.
to
Come
watch
back.
this
Yeah.
panel.
Finish this panel, watch Justice Con, rewatch the movie again, and just do that. But yeah,
Just watch it on loop. Then
we have to restore the Snyderverse. So
there we go.
but yeah, I get inspired, but ideas from my friends when we talk about it would be cool to see this, to see that. Like I did something with Dark Side, with the Green Lantern, as a Green Lantern, since in the movie we see him almost catch the ring. So yeah,
I saw that. That's amazing work.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to hear you and you all talk about your latest projects, because I think that most of my inspiration also comes from what you do, because your art pieces are amazing and you're clearly some of the most creative people I know. So Szilvia, here's to you. What do you want to tell us?
My artistic process is always start kind of with a joke, which is horrible. But yeah, I love to do fun arts. That is what I like to do the most. When I work for a client, of course, I do it like a robot. They sometimes think we are like telepaths and know everything they want, and I hate that. When they can communicate, that's very good. And that's when I like to do job for the money, draw for the money. But of course, the most, what I enjoy the most is the fun arts, because, Zack and other artists inspire me, like you too. And if I do something original, it's always born from boredom, and it always ends up like something horrible, like photo with things like legit throw that, and put it on social media. So I work with Wacom Intuos graphic tablet and Click Studio Paint, the highest version. Version, it's not controlled with anything, all the features you can use. And I very recommend that, because it has many great features for comic artists and good for animation. And if you want to start fun arts, it has a lot of things that you will need, and it's not that expensive, and always has every year at least a 50% sale. So it's and you get every update for free. So if you want to start doing fun arts, I recommend it, and Paint to Sai and other cheap programs, because you don't need for sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's a fair point. I think that everyone watching, I think that if there's anything that we can tell you, is that if you think you have an idea, if you want to, ease off the tension or stuff like that, try drawing, try doing some art. It's cathartic in so many ways that I think you'll always enjoy it. And from the first step, it's always getting better and better. So you should try it. But Ryem, what can you tell us about your art?
It is very cathartic, like as you're saying. It's like at times you could have a very bad day, and then I'm just having, I don't know, you just draw something like scribble, and you're just I'm sort of releasing some sort of tension in some way, right? But what can I say? And my process is like, I'm inspired by, depends on what I'm into, or I don't know, whatever I've got really fascinated by. And currently it's more like Zack's DC world, right? Well, majority of the time it's always Zack's DC world. But it's like, and yeah, so inspiration comes from anywhere really, but at times you kind of get stuck and you're like, "Okay, what do I draw? What do I draw?" And with fan art, it's fairly easy. You don't have to utilize your brain as much in a way. It's like, as drawing is more like stress-free, sort of, if you approach it in a way. So with fan art, you can just already have an image and you're like, okay, I want to do this with this image. So you can easily start drawing. Like that's how I sort of see it. And like you said, it's like cathartic, it's more like relaxing. And like my process, I use Photoshop a lot, obviously. Sorry, and I've been using a Wacom Bamboo tablet since 2013, I want to say, though, and the wire is so bad that I have to do the whole process of sometimes you blow into the USB wire just to put it back in because it's literally in a bad state. But recently I've started using Procreate on the iPad, and I'm with the Apple Pencil, and it's like very much more easier to use.
Yeah,
because
I can understand. I went through the same journey, and Procreate is just way quicker to use.
Right, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like so much quicker. Plus, it's like it's fairly similar to Photoshop, so you can sort of like fall into it quickly. And even if someone was to just fall in, not use Photoshop, and Procreate was the first thing they used, so it's perfectly fine as well because it's very easy to use. And plus, luckily, you also have Autodesk Sketchbook, and I think that's free as well. That's free, right, on the iPad. So if anyone's having issues with money, and you don't want to spend however much, like I think Procreate was £10 here
Yeah, something
on
like that.
Apple
Yeah.
Store. Yeah, so it is a cheaper option to Photoshop, much more cheaper. But then again, you got the iPad price, so maybe you don't want to spend any more. So it's like Autodesk Sketchbook is a viable option because when I first got the iPad, it was like I was using Autodesk Sketchbook and I actually was having fun. But then you kind of use Procreate and you don't go back to Sketchbook.
Yeah.
You can also use that on PC, I think, but not for free. Autodesk Sketchbook, but still cheaper than
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Then buying something or a subscription to Adobe, that's pretty heavy.
especially right now. You're like,
Yeah.
plus it's like if you start paying once, and then you want to opt out, that's like £100 fee just to pay the rest of the whole thing. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's a bit heavy. So if you want to start, you can find so many alternatives, cheap. Even just Procreate, it's one payment for life. So, or you can find these free applications that work perfectly. So if you want, you can do whatever if you want to try, you can do whatever you want. But Raz, what do you use
or
to?
even what's it called? Like stick to pen and paper just to start yourself off if you don't feel comfortable with digital. Start wherever they can. Like all of us started with pen and paper. Then
Yeah.
from there we just like progress, right?
Yeah, I think that I used to do so many sketches on pieces of paper like these. So yeah, absolutely, you can draw whatever you want whenever you want. So yeah. And Raz?
Yeah, well, I'm going to give sorry, I'm going to give a kind of pretentious answer, so I apologize for that. But for me, every drawing always starts with telling a story. I know it sounds a bit pretentious, but like it's really my process. I'm just like everybody here, I'm inspired by so many things from DC to Marvel to Zack's movies to comics to video games and anything. But my approach to any art that I do is to see like, okay, what kind of story am I telling? Because every drawing that I do, it tells a story. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
your
if it's
art does
like,
have a lot of story whenever like you post something.
wait, can you say that again, Ryem?
No, I'm saying like your art does have a lot of story whenever you post something,
Oh,
and you have like
thank you.
Yeah,
you and
exactly,
Matt
absolutely.
sort of have like these little
Uh,
speeches going on, right before or after you post. You're like, oh, this is what happened, or there's this dialogue, and you're like, okay, that just adds more to your drawing, and
Yeah.
like,
Thank you. That means a lot. But so that's that's the advice that I kind of want to give to everybody, that yes, there are many ways that you can draw. Like for me, I always start to put like the idea that I have on paper and pencil. Just use a pencil, just like try to get that idea across, and then scan it in the computer. I have a Artist 12 XP pen. Like you can see in the light how much that I've drawn on the thing. But I use this. Um, and I use Krita. Krita is a free program that I found, which is I think very similar to Photoshop. It has a lot of tools. You can find it online. I have it for my PC here, and that's what I use to ink, color, shade, and everything. But in its simplest form, drawing is telling a story. And I really think about, okay, how do I want my characters to stand? How are they standing? Are they like powerful, ready to do battle, or are they kind of cowering, or are they moving, are they leaping? Where do I want to put them? In what scenario are they in? Are they like running away from something? Are they fighting dark side? Are like the possibilities are endless. But I would just say, understand the story that you want to tell, and from there your imagination just goes crazy. Like, oh, I want to put Superman here, he looks very powerful, he's looking over here, there's Darkseid, his eyes are glowing, he's gonna shoot the Omega beams at Superman. Oh my god, I'm gonna put Batman in the background, he's getting ready to strike. So just stuff like that, and you're telling a story about, yeah, we're in the midst of battle, the Darkseid's gonna head up and fight the Justice League. And yeah, this is just a snapshot of that story. And for me, like, that's what I love. To hopefully, like, when I finish a drawing, that somebody can look at that and say, like, oh, okay, I understand what you're trying to say, and I really like it. So that's really my approach to it. And I feel like that's universal for everybody. Just tell a story. It doesn't matter if you write, like, if you write, or if you make music, or if you draw, if you make animations or anything, you're trying to tell a story, or at least your feelings towards that story and what you want to convey. And that's what I feel is very important. So yeah, I would suggest, I'm hearing a lot of great things about Procreate, and I will definitely look into that. But currently, I'm using Krita myself, and it's helped me for all these years. So I'm not going to complain about it. um, but what I also really wanted to know about you guys, I hope that's okay, is uh, what like made you fall in love with Snyder's movies? Because let's be honest, that's why we're here. Zack Snyder and his wonderful, wonderful movies have all inspired us to keep creating and keep working and grinding and improving. So if it's okay with you, I'd love to hear about what made you fall in love with those films.
Yeah, I think that the the first time I remember watching 300 many years ago, but the first time I actually fell in love with Snyder as a movie maker is during my first watch of Man of Steel. I went to see it in theaters. I remember I wasn't a big movie fan at the time, and I remember getting so interested and involved in the Man of Steel behind the scenes stuff. I remember staying at my grandmother's house until 4 a.m. at the time on my old iPad, waiting for the leak of the first two Man of Steel teasers to come out. The ones with Jor-El and Jonathan Kent and I remember watching them with the usual leak, so with the camera tilted and everything not in focus. But I remember watching that and seeing, wow, this is a superhero movie I can relate to. Even just those two teasers told me that this story wasn't a a normal superhero story. It was a very personal, very deep superhero story about a, a being that could be a god but didn't want to be a god. Something really, really powerful and interesting. And I remember watching Man of Steel and being in awe after the end of the movie. I watched it so many times in theaters. And after that, Batman versus Superman came out. We all know what what a beautiful movie it was. And after that, we started the Justice League, debacle with the 2017, fake promises, let's say, and the release of a movie that wasn't the movie that Zack shot. And thanks to a group of people that we're all were part of this group, and and thanks to Sean, the movie buff that created the hashtag, release of Snyder Cut, we finally got in 2020 to finally get the announcement of a release. I think someone can tell us a bit more about that announcement, Szilvia, but who knows? But yeah, and in like a month ago, when we finally saw Zack Snyder's Justice League, I think the feeling of I throw this word way too much around, but catharsis of victory that we felt finally watching this movie was something really uncomparable. But yeah, I talk way too much. So yeah, I could speak about Snyder's movies, the hero's journey and stuff like that for hours. So let's hear what Szilvia has to say.
Hopefully I will be shorter. The first Snyder movie I saw was also 300 in cinema. I saw it alone like a loser, they say, because none of my friends wanted to come with me to a graphic novel adaptation. They come with me the second time when I told them that so many hot guys were in it. So, I like how Zack celebrates the human body every time in his film. But of course, I would lie if I would say the first thing that made me say wow when I saw a still of his film 300 when I opened my cinema magazine that I collected in that time, around the time. And I saw, oh my God, what is this? It is a painting, and I love slow motion too in games and other movies too.
He's
like
almost
Red,
a Renaissance painter in a way.
Yeah.
He has this powerful imagery that, yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, it feels like truly a comedic movie, it looked like that, and even the blood looked like that, and I love that. But of course, his DC movies, Man of Steel especially, they were like, many people likes when directors sugarcoat things, But I had a not so nice childhood, and since I was a kid, I always loved when some reality were in those fantasies. Like this is why I love Game of Thrones more than Lord of the Rings, because it's more harsh, and I love that because I learned very early that the world is up a little bit, and I love that he put these heroes that I respect and love since my childhood in a real world, but still have the fantasy elements, but they feel layered and just like every other person, has struggles and emotionally isn't that all right, I like how Superman, for example, isn't very how to say it. He looks more, anxious like me, he feels like me in those situations when I imagine myself in those.
Yeah,
well, I can tell you, you don't seem very anxious here anyway. You're very open and friendly and awesome. So that's how I feel anyway.
Well, I'm a socially awkward people.
But yeah, I absolutely agree. The vulnerability of Zack's characters is something really amazing that makes them way more relatable than most superheroes. So at least for me. So yeah, Ryem, what's your take on this question Raz asked?
Okay, first I want to ask Sylvia, is that a Superman, like black suit Superman, or just a normal Superman in the background?
That's it, Superman.
Okay.
From the it's a Man of Steel merchandise.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering. I was like, wait, is that So, should I just ask or no?
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's amazing. I asked her the same before. I was like, why is there Henry Cavill on the bed?
And he has a Justice Con card from last year. You know,
Yeah.
okay.
so he's allowed to be here.
He has the official pass to be here.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. But yeah, it's like, like everyone else, I was also, 300 was one of the first official movies that I realized that, because there was something about that trailer when it came on. I was like, yo, this is like, it's completely different to what we've seen before. Majority of I forgot what movie it was as well, but I still remember seeing that trailer and being amazed by it. And well, it's like from there, I think if I remember, I think was it Sin City or The Spirit, where I thought, oh, this is the same guy who did 300. I don't know, something about it. Just he Zack stamped a sort of style with 300 that it just, I didn't know who the director was. All I knew was this looks amazing. I really want to see it. Like they sold me on it. But obviously I was too young, so I couldn't really see it then. Even with Watchmen, I was just like, this is something, like you guys were saying, he's sort of like a painter with everything, him and his team, they're like, every frame is a painting sort of. And he just caught your attention so quickly. And even though I don't know who he is, they're just saying the director of 300 or something. And then it wasn't until, like everyone else, when Man of Steel came around and we're like, okay, and now I know who he is. I'm really getting into what he's doing. It's like I said, it's like he's so unapologetic with his handling of characters, where he sort of doesn't tread a line. He just goes, you know what, I'm just doing it. Like we're gonna cross over this line, and if the audience gets uncomfortable, it's perfectly fine, because you want a reaction from the audience. You don't, like, sometimes it can be bad, sometimes it can be good, but he doesn't mind going the distance with IPs, especially. With Superman, it's like, he had Superman kill Zod at the end of the day, like spoilers, but since 2013. And it's like we've seen the reactions, right? Like everyone, the internet went ablaze, and everyone's still talking about that moment. And like I said, it's like he doesn't mind. He just goes, yes, we're gonna have to put him in a spot, and we're gonna have to push the boundaries of these IP characters who's been around for 70 years. Like, how else are you gonna pick these characters up if you don't
these
push them
characters
to certain directions?
stay alive when artists push their boundaries like this. If Superman was only a good guy with the red trunks that saves cats out of trees, he would have died in the cultural imagery 40 years ago.
Yeah,
The fact that
exactly. So there's so
evolves.
many characters from like the 40s who I don't think we even know about.
Yeah.
Sometimes like you find, oh, this guy's been around since then. Oh, but I don't like. I think the creators of Superman, they also created Dr. Occult, and I'm like, I didn't know who he was until like a few years ago, and then I didn't know who he was until recently. I found out that they created him, and it's like, I understand a lot of other people might know, but it's just like Max said, if you don't push the boundaries, the character won't come into the mainstream, or more people, more attention won't come to him. And that's what I liked about Zack, is that he just goes for it. It's like, it's perfectly fine. Even with like, his Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? His Justice League movie that we recently saw, it's like, do I feel like it's the safest Zack movie? Like for him, that is a pretty safe movie. But even still, that's pushed the boundary in certain areas where it took its time with the characters. It changed some of the designs completely, like Steppenwolf, right? But it made him more cute rather than scary. So it's like,
his eyes, his big eyes.
Right? It's like you have to do certain things for certain characters, either for them to be mainstream, or more attention to come towards them, or like push them more forward. And you can't keep them sort of stale. And which isn't about, keeping them in a certain safe spot is perfectly fine as well. But if you've got a long history of the characters since 1940s, like, you might want to do something new.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And you just give me an idea to disrupt the order of stuff we will talk about, because I have a question for every one of you, and I will answer first, because if not, I will forget to answer as well. What did you think about Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Like Well, are you going on order or are you asking me first?
How you want? If you go, Ryem.
No, if it's anyone who wants to go first, it's fine. I'll wait. No way.
No problem. If you want to go.
Okay, like I said, it's like I felt like that was the safest Zack movie. Like for the Snyder, that's a pretty safe movie. But then we sort of knew about it in the sense where, like Chris Terrio has said it's going to be a more lighter movie, and it's not like it's a bad thing that it's a safe movie because we've had Batman versus Superman, we've had Man of Steel, so now you sort of have to pick the audience back up again, inspire them. So then in the Nightmare, you can sort of go back and be like, okay, here's more darkness. But it's like I like the movie, obviously, like everyone else. Like I've said it, like I think Steppenwolf was the best character because he had a redemption from especially like if you just look at Steppenwolf alone, it just explains to you how the movie was redeemed. The 2017 version, he's nothing. That version of the character, no one cared about that character. Everyone was like, okay, this is the worst villain ever. And then you flash forward to like 2021, the movie's released, and everyone's like, okay, there's so much depth to this character. There's so much history, and everyone's like, literally, he was redeemed by this one movie. And then you look at every other character as well. It's like everyone's been redeemed. Everyone's like, it's like he literally took the world by storm, and now everyone's like, okay, we want to see more. And I'm at a point where if we don't get more, I'm okay with, because this movie made me so content from 2017. Because after 2017, I was just like, yo, like this is the first Justice League movie, and we got this. What is going on? And then now we have this, and it's like, oh wow, it's like if I had a hole in my heart, that hole's been filled,
Yeah.
and I'm okay if we don't get more. But if we get more, then that's just an added bonus. Where I'm like, just like, I do want more, but I'm so happy and excited that we just got this, and I'm just like, let me bask in it for a while before I want more.
Yeah,
If you understand.
I totally understand your point because I feel kind of the same on that aspect. I loved Zack Snyder's Justice League. I really I love how it works as the middle chapter of this 5 movies arc saga, because
Yep.
it's we start with the very heartfelt Man of Steel, we continue with the dark gritty Batman versus Superman, and now we build the Justice League in a very wholesome way, in a very heartful way. It's a movie that really gives us characters with heart, with very complex characters.
And you're spending time with them as well. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like 4 hours.
4 hours work perfectly and fly. I think I saw 2 hours movies that felt longer than Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I think that the cinematography, the Zack's direction is always impeccable, but yeah, the script, the score, Junkie XL's score, the acting. Ray Fisher was the breakout star of the movie, I think, besides Steppenwolf. That I think we all agree that Steppenwolf was the unsung hero of the movie, but yeah.
No, it's like that's even like that one little moment with Ray Fisher where he helped that mom out, the waitress who's working.
Yeah.
Like to me, I feel like that's like one of the best representations of a hero ever. Because majority of the time, yes, you're saving other people and stuff, but it's just like he literally just saved her entire life, or like changed her life in a way that's more real than majority of other superheroes.
Yeah.
If you understand, like he placed money in her account and now she can pay rent. She can help her kids.
Yeah, it's so
in a way that
it shows real heroism for me, at least for me. It's not ideal. Let's kick some aliens and save the world. It's just it's that, but it's also let's go and save people where usually we don't see heroes save people. Stuff like that. It was amazing. But Szilvia, what did you think about Zack Snyder's Justice League?
I always cry on that cyborg scene, and it's something many people could do, without any robotic body, like the Amazon boss. One day just could get up and actually do that, but people like him never do that, billionaires like him. I loved the Zack Snyder's Justice League because it was everything, he promised after Batman v Superman, because it was a natural progression to the story. Batman v Superman built the base for this more positive, more light team building, because I love how he didn't make them fight. He made them fight, but Superman was not himself, at least. Yeah. So it wasn't like, I don't want to compare it to Avengers. I like that movie too, back in those days. None of those characters were not himself. They know what they do and still started to fight immediately. I love that he solved these problems in Batman v Superman and solved Wonder Woman's problems, and now everything was more based in his Justice League, and yeah, that cyborg scene was amazing, and many other cyborg and other character scenes, and the world building was awesome. Just to go back to Steppenwolf, he is hot, he is a sweet prince, he is a little angel, but but what I loved him the most is his armor connected him with Cyborg and Apocalypse, and with the mother boxes. It's that simple design world building he does. It's not just how Steppenwolf looks like very cool in that armor, but that armor does so much to connect him with others.
Yeah, I absolutely. This movie is a movie about families in a way. I think it's while Man of Steel was about fathers and Batman v Superman about mothers, this movie is about creating this family, reuniting links and stuff. But yeah, I'm glad you liked it a lot. But yeah, Raz, I'm sorry I cut you off for both your question and this, but now you you can talk about this stuff. What did you think about Zack Snyder's Justice League, and also what's your relationship with Zack Snyder as a movie maker? When did you fall in love with him?
Oh gosh, where do I start?
The stage is yours.
Oh wow, thank you. Should I start like the Kingpin? The Kingpin in Netflix's Daredevil, where he goes, "When I was a boy."
When I was a boy, yeah.
When I was a boy, I would just start spewing nonsense. But to answer your first question about Zack Snyder's Justice League, I mean, what do you want me to say that the others haven't said already? It's awesome. It's great, and I love it, that it's like the third part in Zack Snyder's DC Odyssey in a way, because it doesn't feel like a separate movie. I would say it feels like the third chapter in like this like epic of epic proportions or whatever. I love it. I really do, just like everybody here. I did find out recently that there were some Zack Snyder fans who didn't like the film, which is okay. It's fine if you don't like it. I personally really loved it. The 4 hours really flew by like it was nothing. And just like everybody said, all the characters were flushed out. All like everybody got their time to shine, and everybody was useful. Everybody got along. It's not like in the 2017 version where they were like bickering about whether or not they were going to bring Superman back. No, everybody was on the same page, and that's what a team is supposed to be. It's like, okay, let's go do this. This is the only logical way. Let's do this. And every character was like three-dimensional. It was flushed out, and it was great. It was funny that Ryem talked about Steppenwolf. I recently rewatched some clips of the 2017 version, and my God, like the differences are so
like night and day.
Oh
man.
my God, like mother, you call me home, mother. Like I'm like, okay, buddy. Like I think like Sigmund Freud would like to talk to you, if you're open, because here, like in the movie, like Steppenwolf is straight to the point. Like he doesn't give like Zack said, he doesn't give a crap about what other people think of him. He just wants to please Darkseid. That's it. He's not going around, saying, "Mother, you call me home, mother." Like,
yeah,
like it's not
creepy.
needed.
It was creepy in a
Right?
bad way, not creepy in a good way. It was creepy, like, yeah, why would you ever
Right?
have a character do that.
So yeah, like I felt so bad for the guy, especially when Desaad went, like you still owe the Great One 50,000 more worlds, and you cut back to Steppenwolf, and he's always about to cry.
That-
I
I
felt
love
like
love the
that VFX
finger.
he
Love
portrayed on his
I
face.
love the finger, yeah, the pointy finger,
Ryem was saying.
and yes,
No,
yes,
the thing it's like the VFX artists, the way they emoted Steppenwolf, you're like it's just subtle. It's just subtle movements, and it just works.
When he kneels and
absolutely.
his throat, he swallows a big lump because the son says, yeah, you won't come back for some millennia, at least. It's amazing that scene when he's kneeling and he's almost crying down. It's amazing. But
No,
continue as
absolutely, no, absolutely. I agree. It's like those little facial, those little facial animations. But it's just like it amazes me the skill at storytelling, because you had like the 2017 Steppenwolf, who you could not give any crap about. Cut to Zack Snyder's Justice League Steppenwolf in one scene, you immediately understand what the guy wants, what he's after, why he's doing what he's doing, and you have like all these fans just like hashtag save Steppenwolf, or like hashtag Steppenwolf is a baby, we love him, and it's so like wonderful to see, like, yeah, I understand, man, you just want to go home, and we've all felt that. We all want to go home. Hell, every day I go to work I want to go home. So
Plus, it's those things like you know how it's just kind of weird what the thought process was, that apparently this version of Steppenwolf was too scary, but
right.
then
yeah.
if we see and this is everyone's baby in a way, it's like literally
And
the fandom
I
baby.
feel so bad for the guy, right? We all
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
And
exactly. It's beautiful because it's not a bidimensional villain. It's someone that's clearly evil, but you can say, yeah, I feel for him because he's trying to do something to come back home. He has been, left away, sent away from how many years, how many millennia.
yeah,
It's beautiful to
it's
see.
yeah, absolutely. This panel is just gonna be like a Steppenwolf fan panel.
Yeah.
Can talk about Steppenwolf all the time. But yeah, like the film had so many like wonderful moments. But like the scene that I keep rewatching over and over again is the Flash running back in time to, like not running back in time, but reversing time to like stop the Unity from
Yeah.
happening. I don't know if I'm the only one. I'm pretty sure you guys love that scene too. But like
It's-
like the momentum's building, the music's starting, and Barry's like, you got to go faster than the speed of light, Barry. You got to do it. You got to do it now. And like the music kicks in, and he starts running, and I was like legit having goosebumps. It was like 1 in the morning, like super late, but I was like, oh, I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
This is so amazing. And he's running, he's reversing back time, and like the visuals alone, like this is an artists panel, an international artists panel where we are from all over the world, but the way that Zack is able to create these visuals and like this world building, like the way he positions his shots, what's going on and everything, like it's an endless source of inspiration. I
Yeah.
feel we can keep drawing from it, and like that scene is so amazing, and I really like that they did like the Flash justice, especially in that scene, because yeah, like instead of like having him push like one Russian family, he's literally saving the earth, which is of course in my book that's like, I mean what else can I say?
And
um
instead of saying Dostoevsky, he talks to his father, and that made me cry in that scene.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Whatever he did.
Yeah, like he's like his mindset is, I got to do this. I've like I had a rule, like and it immediately makes you think, like, did he like try to go faster than the speed of light once before? Like what happened? And like he set up a rule, like never again, and he's like, I got to break the rule, I got to do it now, because like there's no other way. And he doesn't know what's going to happen to him. He might probably die,
Yeah.
like he might die, like
Yeah.
he might
Yeah,
like
it felt like,
evaporate or anything. And like the last
suicide.
moment is like him talking to his dad, even though his dad will probably never hear it, but he's like, goodbye, Dad. Yes, your son died saving the world in a way. So I hope
He was one of
like,
the best of the best.
Yeah,
That scene is
um,
so heartbreaking. Flash has two of the most heartbreaking scene for me. The Iris scene with that
Yeah.
beautiful song to the siren. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And this scene, Flash probably as Flash and Cyborg have some of the most poetic scenes, and Superman as well. And I know I just listed 3 of the 6 Justice League members, but it's really poetic in a way. I really love it.
Yeah, like we can keep talking about these characters forever. Like very underrated that I really talked about with my brother recently was Aquaman. Um, you look at this Aquaman, and it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same Aquaman as James Wan's Aquaman, but still kind of different, because this Aquaman, I describe him as someone who lives between the tides of the world. That's exactly who he is. He's not human, he's not Atlantean, he's someone who lives between the tides. He doesn't have any allegiance. He doesn't really have a connection that ties him to either the surface or Atlantis. And think about that. Just someone who is just free from any earthly like connections, and you can just swim across the ocean. Nothing can harm you. Sharks or whatever, you can see underwater, you can survive underwater, you can breathe underwater, and you're just free in a way. But for Aquaman, that's kind of a curse, because he really has no one to go home to. And the way I see it, like that scene when he saves that fisherman from drowning in the storm, and he drops him off in that cafe, in that bar, and he just takes a drink, and it's like, it's on him, and he walks out. But the camera lingers in such a way where like everybody's staring at him, not quite sure how to, like, where to place him. And Aquaman is also looking back at, like, yeah, these people think I'm weird, like whatever, I don't really care, and he just swims away. And I felt like that's so tragic, because like he sleeps underwater because he has nowhere else to go. Like Volko like shows up, it's like, oh, this is a second, you never stay in the same place twice, yet you keep coming back here. And that kind of made me feel bad for the guy, because like he doesn't have a relationship with his father per se. If we look at Zack Snyder Justice League, he doesn't really have any allegiances to Atlantis. It's just him alone living in like this like other universe of like underwater, if I'd say, and he's all alone. And that's what the Justice League represents to him. Family. This is the first time where he's going like, okay, these people, let me help them. Because Arthur is good natured. He wouldn't go out of his way to save that fisherman if he wasn't good natured, if he didn't have a good heart. But he's just lonely. And that's what I feel, that's so awesome. And seeing Cyborg lose his father, there's that wonderful scene between him and Flash where he's like, we're asking a kid who just lost his father to go up against the universe's most powerful machines. And the Flash goes, I thought you didn't care. Aquaman says, I never said that. Which immediately, brings his character to way better heights than anything we've seen in the 2017 version.
Yeah.
Because and where he goes to the end, he
yeah, exactly. Like after
father.
this entire thing, he goes like, you know what? I'm gonna go and rebuild my relationship with my father. And in a way that kind of, segues also into James Wan's Aquaman. So it can fit in there, I feel. But like every character is flushed out so well. And, I have nothing but good things to say about it. Absolutely. So I hope that's enough of me ranting. That can keep like going. But I'll finish it up very quickly. Just, I started a long time ago with 300, as mostly all of you did, but I think I was a bit too young to watch 300 because the hunchback looking dude scared the hell out of me as a kid, because he was, I want to join. I'm like, get it away from me. But I was like a kid. But that's the thing about Zack Snyder movies, they stay in your head. They leave a lasting impression. And then I watched Watchmen, and I thought like that was like very mature and great and everything. And I really wanted to show my mom, but you have to remember, my mom is very religiously conservative. She's great, but she's very religiously conservative, and like I can't show a movie to her where a guy has his penis out like every scene he's in.
That's understandable.
So as much as I love the film, I can't really show that. But so like when Man of Steel was coming out, I thought like, oh wow, like this is very interesting, because I grew up with Superman and all these wonderful comic book characters, and I want to see what this guy can do. And I remember I was in my last year of high school and I had like only two friends. Like my high school experience was not the best. Let's just leave it at that. But I had like two friends. They were a year lower than me, and we would just hang out all the time. Just three of us. And I remember when the Man of Steel trailers came out, we were like so hyped. And like my friends who had never like read a comic book in their lives, they were like so hyped and everything. They were like, okay, we got to see this. We got to see this. And like the first day that it came out in Belgium, I remember that's when we bought tickets to go watch it. Coincidentally, it was also my senior prom, but I skipped that shit. You know, but
You choose wisely.
I chose wisely, but also I couldn't get a date. So what does that say about me?
But Man of Steel is worth it.
Man of Steel, it was, because I remembered like me and my two friends, we were going up to the theater and there was this usher, handing out the tickets, and I was like, oh, we're gonna go see Man of Steel, and the dude was like, oh, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow, and I'm like, okay, great, enjoy it. And like we went in and the movie like blew us away because it was like superhero action done in a way that I hadn't seen before. It was fast, it was visceral, it was powerful. Like every punch you felt like there was like a shockwave behind it, the dynamic cameras. And also, how much emotional heart that movie had. A lot of people skip over that, but the movie did have a lot of emotional heart. And literally the next day, my family wanted to see it as well, so they were like, oh, hey, Man of Steel's that, and I was like, I'll come along, why not? And it was the same usher was there. And so I asked him like, hey, did you see Man of Steel? And he was like, yeah, I didn't like it. And that was the first time that like my brain couldn't really comprehend, like, did we see the same movie? Because I thought it was so like amazing and awesome and stuff, and you didn't like it. And that was like where the fight started, I would say. And then cut to Batman versus Superman. Oh my god, like the critical response and the haters and whatever, they came out in full force. And I love that film, but you can't deny like how much hate and toxicity there was around it. And so like I remember like that story with the usher, that was like my first kind of dip into that other side. And it doesn't matter what the haters say or like what the other people say. These movies brought us together. They really did. And like you can't really call a movie very bad if it did something to this wonderful group of people that we call a community. They brought us all together. And I have never ever seen such a community surrounded by any franchise really before. You guys are so open and so wonderful to talk to and work alongside and build friendships with. And no other film franchise has really done that. So I thank Zack for bringing us all together. And like it's a wonderful community to be part of. Absolutely.
Absolutely great.
Yeah, but like I want to hear actually from you guys, like how did the community inspire you? Because like for me, like they inspire me to keep drawing, they inspire me to keep interacting with people. And yeah, sure, there are like a few people that are kind of bad apples who kind of like ruin the experience for for like some people or like for a lot of people, but at the end there are so many great people here. But I want to hear from you guys, like how does this community inspire you?
Well, yeah, I think that the community is everything for this stuff. We got this movie thanks to the community, and I think that the community is also something that, as you were saying, inspire us artists every day, because they're always so kind and so helpful and so generous with the compliments that they gave us that they give us. I agree, there are a few bad apples, but at the end of the day, that the problem with a large group of people is that in every large group of people there will be some kind of percentage of bad apples. Thankfully, something that I'm seeing the Snyder community has done is that they can take the negativity and push it aside and be positive about the stuff they like. Now for the Zack Snyder's Justice League, for the promotion, for everything, I saw the outpour of support of love that this movie has gotten, that everyone has given each other. the friendship that has grown. I personally have so many people that I would love to thank, besides, the JusticeCon presenters and organizers, the Nerd Queens, Meg, but even so many people that, I consider brothers, friends, sisters. This community is, to me, it means everything. I think that I wouldn't be here doing this thing, drawing like I do, if it wasn't for the people that I met along the way. So yeah. But Szilvia, what do you think?
Of course, the work that everyone in the fandom did for the EFSP donations is very, very inspiring. And yeah, how we are united. We fight, but when there is a bigger enemy, we always unite someone.
Yeah.
No matter whose side you're on, I'm always in the middle, so no problems. I love JusticeCon, especially last year. And no offense to the other guests, but the ladies who come from the FSP were so great. That was the best panel. The most inspiring and interesting that day, And
That had the most people viewing as well, right? I think that panel had the most people.
I hope so. That was the best.
That's the soul of a movement. I think AFSP with Zack is the actual soul, and it's so beautiful to see stuff like this continue. I literally received, like, I don't know, I received this like yesterday. The stuff that I love how this movie can help AFSP, because this directly supports the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and also, this shirt, stuff like this. I think that everyone should, go to Into the People and or support AFSP to help to be real heroes in real life, besides the heroes in the on screen. But yeah, Szilvia, continue. Sorry.
And I love the fandom. Twitter is a hard place to be on, but people from the fandom somehow turn every toxic day better, and I love Hero because I don't think we could have built a strong fandom like that without Hero, and not just because Zack promoted or posted the pictures there, and he's exclusively on that more and connects with us, which is so awesome. No other director does this as far as I know. So I love to thank Hero too. It's a very inspiring place because no other app was this positive ever, I think. Not just at the beginning, but ever.
Yeah.
That's it.
What about you, Ryem?
No, to go off everyone else's point. First of all, I just want to say I don't think he made Sin City. I'm not saying he made Sin City. It's just that I was just thinking over some of the
That
points
was
I made.
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, like he made he made 300, and then I remember seeing a trailer for Sin City afterwards on the TV, and I was, oh wait, is this the same guy? It wasn't until like after 2010 that I was like, oh, these are two separate directors. But that's another story anyway. But like you guys were saying, it's like how the community basically just supported this one little thing that Zack posted, right, about AFSP. Like even the whole Justice Pledge, for example, where I think Scott from DC Squadcast started, right? Like, can you guys hear me? Just because I'm muted.
No, we can hear you.
No, we can hear you.
Yeah.
How it's like, rather than buying the Blu-ray or the DVD, they were going to pledge to AFSP, even with the movie, after you've seen the movie on HBO Max or wherever where you can. He just like pledge to make the price of the cinema ticket to AFSP. And I thought that's just so awesome how no one has to do that, but everyone is doing that to not only to help save lives, but sort of supporting Zack, but as well as like helping AFSP and pushing the narrative forward. Like, you're not alone. There's help out there, and giving like AFSP the resources to help people. And that's just so awesome that I'm like, it's kind of weird whenever someone does this spin that the entire fandom is negative, and it's just like, it irritates me, and you want to respond back to it, but I'm like, you know what? Don't give in to that. Just ignore and just like move on. It's like I see a lot of the fandom is sort of doing that as well, where they just they're sort of moving on. Like everyone said, everyone's got bad apples. Sometimes you can't help it. You're gonna respond to the negativity, and it's like, oh well, what? I'm not gonna really blame someone because after 8 years or more, it's like it kind of gets irritating of seeing the same thing over and over again. But ignoring all that,
Yeah.
I just like how the fandom just helped support and push the narrative of like helping AFSP out so much. That's just so awesome.
Yeah,
And like I think everyone's raised quite a lot, and with the Autumn Foundation as well. So how it's like seeing all that, how the fandom came together, it's just so cool, man.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it's something that the release of Snyder Cut movie made movie history, but I think that the real important stuff will forever be the charitable aspect with the AFSP. Also thanks to Into the People. It's something that will forever tell who the release of Snyder Cut and Zack Snyder's Justice League fans actually are. Besides, every puff piece about toxic fandom and stuff like that. That's just noise that they want to make to try to undermine something that's actually positive and real. But yeah, Raz, I think that's
Also, one note I just want to say, just remember, it's just that we didn't stop. Like none of the fans stopped AFSP. It's just even after the movie came out, people are still pledging. Like, you could literally.
And I hope that it will.
Wow, it's been a couple of weeks.
Army of the Dead.
It's still happening. Sorry?
I said I hope that it will continue with Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I hope that continues. That continues as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're all gonna watch Army of the Dead when it comes out, right?
Yeah.
Like our support doesn't stop here. It until Zack tells us to stop, we won't. We'll keep going. But yeah, I can't say enough positive things about this place and this community. Absolutely, everybody's wonderful. I mean, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, like what a great cause. Like as someone who, well, I'm not gonna say that I've had mental struggles, but sometimes I do. I think a lot of us do. This foundation really has a really special place in my heart, and know that there are people who love you. There are people who want to help you. That you are not alone, never. And that's what this community has proven. We are not alone, which is ironic because like Zod, when he arrives at Earth, he's like, "You are not alone," as an ominous message, but we took it and turned it into something positive.
Yeah.
Which is so awesome. And yeah. So I wanted to ask one final question to you guys before we wrap this up. Are there any new projects that you guys are working on that you want to share? Because I'm very curious.
Well, I have something in mind. It all depends on whether or not we get some kind of positive announcement about the Snyderverse continuing or not. But yeah, I have some pieces in mind about some what could have been, or what could be happening in the future in the DCU. Maybe just like the one I teased before with Bruce Wayne and John Stewart, meeting at the lake house, or other similar stuff, maybe with the Nightmare guys, fighting some Kryptonium of your choice. Who knows? You, Szilvia?
I have just a few ideas now because I don't actually have time to do anything right now because of the tabletop, and I have tarot cards to do too. So I have ideas. I hope I will have time to do, and when I do, you will also. I literally just did a second work one of these days just to do something, but it was just him. Didn't do anything, or I just made him. What if I would make a Justice League cartoon, and I draw Dark Side that way, and Steppenwolf now, but it's nothing serious, not what I wanted to do, but I don't have time, which is good because I can donate to AFSP if I have money. That's it.
Ryem, do you want to say something about like what you're working on?
Well, right now I don't really have anything that I'm working on because, like, it's like, there's no time, to do other stuff. I'm trying to work. I don't know. I'm trying to do this little animation. If I can finish it, but hopefully I can. But let's see. That's all I can say. Really. It's like,
No, that's that. Well, that animation sounds very, very cool. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm sure like 100%, like guys, for those watching, if you aren't following these guys, do it, because these guys are like all amazing artists, and like truly wonderful human beings as well, as you can tell from this panel. So yeah, follow them. You don't have to follow me, follow them. Those guys are
Follow
these
him
guys are
first.
great.
Yeah.
no, Raz is awesome as well as everyone else. But it's like, come on, man, don't put yourself down.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Currently, I'm working on like one thing that I can talk about. Like I work very slowly. You guys know that. You guys like are like putting out artworks at such a fast rate I can never keep up. But I'm working at like one little thing. If it's okay, I can like share the screen a little bit to show it, if that's okay.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Sneak peek new artwork. Let's go.
You
well,
can.
it's a very quick thing. I think you need to approve it, Max,
I'm trying to see
because it
how.
says host disabled participant screen sharing. So it's up to you.
I'm not that evil. Let me see. Okay, let me just. Let's see. Can you?
Oh
No?
yeah. Now I
Perfect.
can do it. Yes. So I will just share my screen. You guys can see my screen, right? So this is what I have so far.
Oh, awesome.
It's just like one. I mean, I'm almost finishing up Batman, but like
I see the title, Nightmare Gang.
oops, that's a spoiler. But yeah, like depending on like the size of the image, you can kind of guess that there are some other characters that are going to be showing up. Some people from Nightmare, yeah, sure. But
well,
yeah, like as you can see here, I have all these layers. I use different layers. Like for those interested in digital art, just know that layers are your friend.
yeah.
They help you achieve so many things, like inking, coloring and all that stuff, and just organize it, name them, and yeah, you can just start creating, because like each layer has a function in a way, so like starting from pure inking to like coloring to like dirt texture and all that stuff. And yeah, but it always starts like on paper for me. Boom. Do you see
It's
that?
great to see someone else
Wow.
name
I'm
the layers. Well,
Wow.
let's see that
that
again.
was a very quick little thing. I'm not gonna go back. You can like freeze frame it and like whatever. But like everything on paper that I do is absolutely horrible. It always is. But thankfully, with like digital art, I can make all the improvements that I need in order to get the story across that I want. So yeah, that's currently what I'm working on.
Awesome.
And yeah, how do I stop sharing my screen? Because
Let me see if I can stop the sharing. I don't know if I can.
wait, hold up.
Oh, wait, I can.
Yes, as you can see, we are all so technologically savvy. We
Yeah.
know what we're doing. We're
Well, we managed to go through this, so
we
it's
managed to
perfect.
go through this. So yeah, that's great. we're all, you know, super organized and like super but yeah,
Everyone was
like
on time. No one was late.
no one was late, everybody was here. But yeah, like I think I think we should call it here, I guess. Like
Yeah.
how long have we been going?
Well, I think 1 hour and 10 minutes, 15.
Oh
But
damn!
Do we
yeah, yeah,
do we s- do we stop here?
I think we can just say thank you to everyone that has listened to this
Oh yeah,
this workshop, and I'll let
yeah.
Raz do the honors because
Oh boy. But
he's
no,
nice.
like well, like Max said, like thank you guys. We're gonna like we're gonna slowly close it off here, but absolutely thank you guys for listening to the three of us, you know, talk nonsense for like an hour. It really means a lot. And a big shout out goes to the Nerd Queens, Wonder Mag, and all the wonderful organizers of JusticeCon. Without them, this would not have been possible. Without them, we would not be here to talk about like our love for this community and these movies. You know, big shout out to them. Big shout out to all the other panels. You know, I'm sure they're also wonderful, and I'll definitely be watching. And ASFP, man. You know, all the links I'm sure will be put here, and like shout out to them for the wonderful work that they've done, that they are that they are doing still. You know, it's not like they stopped. We're not gonna stop either. But yeah, like all of this is for autumn, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Uh, like like I can't put into words how much this community means to me and how much you guys mean to me. And I really want to thank you all for listening. I want to thank you all for being awesome. And yeah, we'll hopefully catch you, someday soon. But be sure to
Yeah.
follow these guys. I don't know where their screens will be. I'm just pointing up here, but be sure to follow those guys on Twitter and on their social media handles. These guys are awesome,
And
and I
follow
want to thank those
follow Raz
guys.
as well because he's amazing as well. Thank you to everyone, everything for thank you to Zack, to Debbie, to the cast, to Ray. Thank you to everyone, really.
Absolutely. And yeah, we'll see you guys around. Thank you for watching. Take
Bye-bye.
care.
And hopefully you all will do some fun arts now.
Yeah, we want to see your fun
Absolutely.
art now. Yeah.
Please
It's a
share them with
program.
us.
Use the hashtag Artist League International and we'll see your fan art.
Yep.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Signing out.
Stuff.